I should just start talking to myself while I'm waiting for people to chime in. I got a buddy in the background tonight. This guy will fucking kill you. Okay, there, I got lots of people. So, today we're going to talk about lots of things. So, any questions as I'm going about the diet, about fasting, feel free to ask them and I'll try to answer them as many as I can. So, something I'm doing personally right now is I want to do a really long dry fast, and I'm deliberately trying to get fat, and I don't like it. I don't like getting fat anymore. I kind of talked about this before. You know, you get abs and you get looking better and chiseled and all this kind of shit, and then you're trying to get fat, and I have to get fat from time to time because when you get too lean, you don't have the capability to do these long fasts like a lot of people that actually have fat can do. And so to prove that fasting works very well, I gotta always be fasting long terms, and I gotta get fat sometimes. So last night I weighed myself, and I think clothes on I was actually 192, so it's getting pretty fat. I was like 150. I think I was like 156 only like 6 weeks ago I got down to, so that's a pretty big swing. I just wanted this wolf. So I've had some issues lately with some shit, and I'm moving to Sylvan Lake, but I had something happened with my house in Edmonton. My friend had some psychological issues, and something happened where the house ended up almost getting burnt down. And so I'm at my sister's for a few days, and then I had some car problems yesterday. Car blew up on the road, and now we're fucking with that. But this wolf, so I've been staying in my sister's basement, and this fucking wolf scared the shit out of me a few times because the thing looked so real that, like, the one day I opened the door, so the door's right there to come into the basement, and you look quickly and you're not used to it, and you look at this wolf and you think the fucking thing's like alive, like they did a good job. But just to talk a bit about wolves and fasting, okay? So guess how they eat? Just the same as every other animal out there that's a carnivore, even most omnivores. They are going to fast like crazy. Wolves will go days without eating, and then they'll kill something. And look at the size of this wolf. This is a big wolf. You know what I'm saying here? Like, this is how animals, this is why they're so fucking lean and strong and aggressive, and that's why we're not lean and strong and aggressive like we should be, because everyone's fat because we overeat all the time. So, yeah, I'm just sitting on the floor here. I don't got my snake diet shirt or nothing on. All my shit's packed up in my car. But one thing I was going to talk about too is, like, I love fasting. It like brings you to a much higher level of consciousness, and I'm excited to move to Sylvan Lake because it's like a smaller town. You know, there's still like Red Deer's close by, so it's still kind of a city, but there's a lake right there, and I'll be able to go down there and relax. And it's not like last time I did a dry fast, it was long. I was in the city, and it was just felt so fucking unnatural. It just really brings you back to nature when you start fasting. And so just to kind of like recap the week, so that motivation group I got going on, there's so many people posting on there. There's a lot of people that have a lot of experience with fasting, and we're answering as many questions as we can. And then lots of people obviously PM me like crazy, and I'm answering questions. A lot of questions. Some of the questions, I'm just going to go through a few that I keep getting. So one question is, people like to know like numbers on calories and things like this. So I made a post, and now this is all from my experience with people I've helped, etc., seeing results. I'm trying to hold this camera kind of steady. But so a good rule of thumb is, if you want to cut some serious fucking weight, depending how active you are, if you're a fairly sedentary person, which a lot of people are going to be because that's how you got fat in the first place. You weren't doing anything, plus you're overeating. A good starting point, if you're eating, let's say if you're on a routine where you're eating one meal a day most of the time, throwing in like a 48-hour fast here and there every week, every couple weeks, maybe do a 72-hour fast. Basically, that meal should be small. Like, I'm talking 500 calories. Because I have had women that we were eating 1 meal a day, because when I first started fasting, I was really pushing 1 meal a day, and then I just took it to the next fucking level because I realized that 1 meal a day, you'll get results for a while, but they'll plateau because it's too easy to overeat still eating 1 meal a day. But if you eat 500 calories or less for 1 meal a day, especially if you're a female or a male, it's not going to matter. That will get you results, and you'll still feel very good because of the fasting aspect. Your body's going to be chewing on body fat all the time. You'll feel very good eating 500 calories a day. There should be no issue as long as you keep the potassium up. And so there's that. And now let's say if you want to get more aggressive, 1,000 calories every 2 days, maybe in a 2-hour eating window, just so you can get the volume in, is going to be a little more aggressive than going 500 calories every day. There's a question here. Can I do a soft dry fast? Yeah, like, of course you can. So a soft dry fast is essentially when you're still making contact with water. And it makes a big difference, like huge. It's not even close. So the most hardcore thing you're going to fucking do is a hard dry fast. That's when you do not come into contact with any water. It makes a hell of a difference when you're having showers. Like, if you were having baths every day, you're going to be able to go so much longer dry fasting compared to somebody that's not touching any water, because your body is just going to soak water up like crazy. Because it's just, your skin becomes, it almost reverses where your skin starts pulling in nutrients through even from the air. Here, Mike asked a question here. These 500 calories, should they come from fats, greens, or protein? Okay, that's a good question. So, you got to eat enough vegetables or you're going to get constipated, okay? So that's one thing. And the volume's the other thing, because you want to eat enough volume that you're going to put pressure on your bowels so you have good bowel movements. This is something I definitely had experience with. So that's why a lot of people that are eating straight keto, if they aren't getting enough volume, like eating enough vegetables, they will get fucking constipated. You hear about this all the time with eating straight keto nutrition. So what you want to do is the protein out of everything is going to be the least important thing. You can get away with such low protein, it's not even fucking crazy. Like, your protein can be so fucking low, almost non-existent when you're fat, and you won't lose any muscle mass. And so what I recommend, what I would do, is keep your meat. We're talking meat, not protein. Don't confuse the two. Okay, let's just make the assumption that about 100 grams of most meat is going to be about 25 grams of protein. So meat-wise, if you're getting in 100 grams of meat, maybe even less, if you're a male, you don't even need hardly any. You can eat no meat, basically. You can eat fuck all for meat. You can have like a steak every 4 days, okay? And then eat a pile of vegetables. So most of those calories should come from vegetables if you can, and that'll be the volume. Now, that's 500. You could go higher than that, but like the main thing is you want to get the volume in. Volume will push on your bowels to make you have bowel movements. And don't just hammer all green stuff either. I used to really push green stuff, but you want like wet vegetables as well, lots of peppers, things like that. And keep in mind you can get away with way more carbohydrate when you fast than you can on a mainstream ketogenic routine where you're eating all fucking day. And that's a lot of, I gotta fucking say something about that actually. So there's this one group, and it's a ketogenic group, and they just don't even want to talk about fasting. Because, like, here's the thing. You can get fat adapted so goddamn quick when you fast. We know this because by definition, when your body starts breaking down body fat, you're fucking fat adapted. Anybody in their right mind that thinks that you need a week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks to get fat adapted is fucking on drugs. You do not need that long. You need like 3 fucking days. And you know it because that's exactly what we prove. Like when you are eating, this thing's getting bright. This light's fucked up. Let's try this. There we go. So when you fast, you can force fat adaptation super quick. Eating keto routine with constant eating all day, it'll take forever to get into ketosis. Forever. It's a crock of fucking shit. And I noticed that a lot of the girls that I know, they're on some of these keto sites and they're getting booted off for even mentioning my snake diet. Like, no one wants to talk about not fucking eating. In these other groups, this is the cool thing. I'm pretty impressed with a lot of people on my group because it's like it doesn't enable anybody. The group is not an enabling group. If you go on these other fucking groups, there's people like, oh, so what kind of booze can we fucking drink that fits our stupid keto diet? What kind of other shit can we do? Like, it's like these groups just enable. Like, that's why I'm so fucking strict on the posts that go up, because I don't want to enable anybody. I want you to break these goddamn addictions. I don't want to be like, well, you can drink alcohol if you do it this way. Just fucking quit drinking booze. Doesn't do you any good. And that's the whole thing. All these fucking groups enable the fuck out of you. That's why they're not getting the results. Look at the results some of these people are getting on my group. It blows me away. There's people that have dry fasted longer than I have, for fuck's sakes. That's why I'm gaining all this weight, because, you know, I got to fucking be like a mentor. I got to keep fucking, I got people that are overweight on my group that are fucking dry fasted longer than me, because I can't go as long as them because I don't have enough body fat. And so now I'm deliberately getting fat just so I can fucking have the experience to say, okay, I went like 7 days or 10 days without food or water. You know what I'm saying? So like, I gotta get fat, but like these other fucking groups, like, it's unbelievable how ignorant these people are when they're like, they preach their fucking keto. They care. It's not, nutrition is important. Don't get me wrong. Fasting's more fucking important. The fact of the matter is, I do not need to eat fucking ketogenic nutrition routine to get 20 times the fat loss results as somebody eating keto would, but eating multiple meals a day. If I ate fucking straight fucking rice and tuna and cheese for one meal a day, I will get better fucking fat loss results than somebody eating keto all day long. I fucking know it, because when I first started this diet, I wasn't eating keto. I was eating one meal a day. I was just eating a fucking shitload of carbs and everything. That's how you know. The diabetes movie. So what I want to do now, actually, I'll talk about that a bit. So what I'm going to do now is, when I do this long fast that I want to do, so my birthday's May 3rd. So I'm trying to fatten up as much as I can. Hopefully I get to like a good like 190 fasted, and I should be able to easily make like, you know, 7 to 10 days dry fasting, because I'll probably do a hard dry fast again as I did before. And the only time I'd actually, if I, you know, yeah, I'm probably going to do a hard dry fast, no water. But what I'm going to do is, there's people that I want to hit them up, and I'm going to interview them. So the movie's going to be something like this. It's going to start with me being a fat ass, and I'm going to cut fucking weight like crazy. With a dry fast will be part of the movie. And then the other part of the movie is going to be all you guys that are doing so great, like with your results and everything. And I'm going to try to get some interviews with you guys. Like, either I'm going to get my young cameraman to go right to your house or wherever and interview you, or I'm going to get you to like send me a video kind of thing like that. And the diabetics, there's going to be probably at least 2 diabetics that are going to be giving testimonials on that movie, because I felt I wanted to like coach a diabetic, like say for 2 months, but it's just too hard to get that kind of footage. So I felt that if I coach them and then just get their testimonial and they have before and after pictures and things like this, that would be enough proof. Because the thing is, I want to prove to people, and this is the whole other thing. Every other goddamn diet out there, like if you're just worried about nutrition and not fasting, you're never going to get the fucking health results. Like, there's weight loss results and there's health results. Okay? You will never, ever, ever, fucking ever get the health results from anything other than fasting. Like, nothing fucking compares. Nothing compares to fasting. I've done everything. You know, the only way to keep your inflammation at a minimum is from fasting. Because no matter what you do, protein, this is the thing with a ketogenic eating routine. Now, like I said, keto combined with fasting is the best fat loss way of eating out there. But it is not the best way of eating out there depending on your goal. For example, I am not as explosive or as strong when I eat fucking keto combined with my fasting routine. Okay? I feel the best when I'm not, okay, I feel the strongest and the most explosive when I'm knocking back probably a good 100 grams of carbs via complex carbohydrates like rice, potatoes, shit like that. Okay? Keto, I do not get the explosiveness. I've experimented to the fucking end, like you would not believe. Like I go into the swim pool, I do sprints, eating keto with my fasting routine, and then I'd add carbs, fucking way more strength with carbs, way faster times with carbs. Keto is really good for a long distance swim because I wouldn't hit a wall. It's really good for long distance running. It's really good for just general feeling really good during the day and dealing with hunger issues. If you have fucking hunger issues, keto nutrition routine combined with fasting is going to be better. Remember, though, that you can get away with more carbs fasting than you could on a normal keto routine without fasting. Okay, they say like 20, 50 grams, they say you shouldn't go over, but I guarantee you can go over 50 like fuck all. There's all sorts of things you can do. I've experimented with loading up on glycogen, and then my body was full of glycogen, and then I went back to a keto eating routine for 2 days in a row, and my body was all full of muscle glycogen, and I was still in ketosis. Like, you can actually be in ketosis and have a fuckload of muscle glycogen, which is basically glucose in your body still, if you do things properly. I'm just going to look back here. What do we want? What do we want our ketone strip to read at the end of a 48 hours? The reason I picked 48 hours is because from experience, no matter who you were, as long as you didn't fuck it up and break your fast somehow, you would be showing color on those strips in 48 hours. That was the goal. And what that meant was that your body made that shift into burning body fat. Okay? We weren't taking in any fucking coconut oil. We weren't doing any fucking goddamn exogenous ketones. That's fucking body fat. That's ketones from body fat. Simple as that. And that's why you do the 48 hours to start. And if you feel good at 48 hours, do fucking 72. If you feel good at 72, even go longer. As long as you feel good. Now, I was going to talk a little bit about potassium, where, like just an analogy. Potassium is almost like your spark. Like, say if you had an engine, it's like your spark. Potassium's like the spark. So you might have a full tank of gas, but if there's no spark, you're not going to have any power. Potassium's like that. So when you're water fasting, as long as you keep your potassium up, you're going to have energy for a long time if you got lots of body fat on you. That's the one downfall with dry fasting. Eventually, dry fasting, you're going to run to like a threshold on potassium to where you will feel weak and shitty, and you can't get around it. But you grind. Dry fasting isn't about feeling good for the whole time. It's about healing. It's about healing, okay? Because usually in nature, like when this guy here, if he was hurt, like if he got shot by a hunter and got away somehow, he's going to fucking lay there and try to heal. He doesn't care about feeling good. He's trying to fucking heal. That's how dry fasting works. Dry fasting is not something that you should do like 24/7. Like what I was doing before is I was just getting all my fluid in at the end of the day for through food. But real dry fasts, I might do one every couple of weeks that's like 2 or 3 days long. Because it takes a long time to recover from a dry fast properly. Because it's all about healing. It's not about dry fasting and going and working your work day. You got to be smart about this shit. Because I know people get competitive, and I don't want anybody fucking dying because they fucking dry fasted for fucking 3 weeks straight or some crazy shit like this. You don't, just be smart. Do it for the right reasons. Okay, here's the one. For someone who is working out, is there a prime time to break a fast? So the best experience I've had, train fasted, eat after. So now it all depends how lean you are. Let's say you're a lean athlete. You don't really got to worry about a 1 hour or 2 hour eating window, okay? If you're a lean athlete, you got to go by how much you weigh and how you feel. So most people, if they can eat, eat a fair amount of food, say if you trained at even 7 in the morning, assuming you ate the night before, you'll train fasted in the morning, and you just will go the whole day without eating till that afternoon, then you'll eat again. You always just log your body weight, log your energy, see how you feel, and that's how you base it. But you'll always train fasted. You'll always train fasted. And even me right now, I'm trying to gain weight. I can't even gain fucking weight easy now. You know what's interesting? I can gain weight really quick up to about 180 something, and then it tops off because it's like I'm trying to gain weight in a clean way. I'm not just eating I'm not eating all day long, so I'm still trying to fast. And it's funny, if you go read about sumo wrestlers, they've been doing like an intermittent fasting routine for like 100, 200 years, where they would eat a shit pile of food in the afternoon, like this huge, like shitload of food. And then what they do is they train like crazy fast in the morning. And the cool part is there's a way you can actually get fat in a healthy way almost, where because you got visceral fat and you got subcutaneous fat. Now the visceral fat's the fat that builds up like around your organs when you're actually fat. You're a fatty person, like you're unhealthy, okay? But then there's subcutaneous fat, which builds up on the outside, and that's what sumo wrestlers want because they want to be heavy. So when you train really hard and eat like a horse, fasting though, you can't pull this off eating all fucking day long. It'll allow you to actually build up subcutaneous fat and not get obese visceral wise, which is very interesting. So what I'm saying, and that makes sense, because in the caveman days, when they went to eat, if they had like a time of feast, their body, now another thing before I get into that, your body is going to get much more efficient at uptaking nutrients from fasting. So actually, if you can put on weight really quick, like fat, like real fat, that's a good thing. If you can get fat really fast, that's a good thing. If you're lean to start with and you can just plump on weight by just eating a lot of food, that's a good thing, because that means that food is getting uptaken into your system and stored as fat and not just going in the toilet. Now, if you're like Mr. Skinny Joe, Mr. Skinny Joe boy down the street, and you're eating like a pile of food each day and you can't gain weight and you aren't that active, then you obviously have a nutrition uptake issue, and you're probably shitting out all your calories in the toilet. Okay, so this being said, is that it's very interesting that back in the caveman days, if you're in a time of famine or feast, when you ate, the body naturally should stash fat like crazy. If you're a healthy person and your metabolism is working the way it should be, when you go and overeat for a week, you should be able to fatten up quick. If you can't gain the weight quick, that means your metabolism is actually fucked up, if that makes sense. I should do a YouTube on that. So with me, I can gain fat quick to the point where my body's like, okay, now you're breaking even, you're fasting, your body, and it won't let me put